Hello, Internet, and welcome to episode 228 of Verbal Graffiti with your host, Brian Glass, a.k.a. the B-Man, the People's Degenerate. Dianna Russini is Verbal Graffiti's #1 fan, and because of that, here at Verbal Graffiti, you will never hear any slander against her name, against her character, or against her lovely vagina, which I hear is the best in the NFL. At least it's the best one most of the NFL has seen. Now, this is all allegedly, and again, I'm not here to judge Dianna Russini. All I know about her is that Dianna is a loving mother and a devoted husband. And her husband should not be angry or file for divorce against Dianna because she's a devoted wife. What is she is doing or allegedly doing, and if you don't know, this came out a few days ago on X, on Instagram and all the blogs, none of the mainstream sites, because mainstream, they have to allude to what Dianna is doing because there's FCC regulations. Well, here at Verbal Graffiti, there are no regulations. So we're going to talk about Dianna's vagina and what she's doing with her vagina, with that sniz. She's flipping that sniz all around to get insider information. She needs to know what NFL player, A.J. Brown, is he going to be traded for a 4th-round pick, a 5th-round pick? Is it going to get a 2nd next year with a 1st and a 3rd in 2028? How are you going to find out that information? You can't just ask the coach of an NFL team. You got to go to bed with him. You got to open your legs. You got to let an NFL coach fuck you, right? You got to let him rearrange your insides. You got to pretend to enjoy it. Maybe you do. I mean, we know women like hypergamy. That's a big thing in 2026, hypergamy. Thank you, Mr. Clavicular, for teaching me about that word. But yes, if you don't know, Dianna Russini has been fucking the coach of the New England Patriots for insider information. And she's also was fucking the coach of the Patriots, Averill, I think his name is, when he was a coach of the Tennessee Titans. Now, I am not here to criticize her. That is the job. That is the job. If you're an insider, an NFL, NBA, and any major sports league, if you're an insider, you need to get the inside scoops. You got to play hanky-panky with the competition, all right? And she probably enjoys doing so. Dianna, that is. I just want to give a thank you to Dianna Russini for making me correct. Because if you don't know, there was an episode a while back. Now, I don't care enough to go find the episode, but if you're interested, go watch the first 227 episodes of Verbal Graffiti. They're all uploaded on YouTube. They're there for free, ad-free if you have YouTube Premium. But I did an entire episode about my belief that all female reporters, insiders, sideline reporters, any babe who's working in sports, who is attractive, I come at it with the assumption that she is sleeping, giving her sniz to players, coaches, staff members, and front office executives to get that insider information. That is my stance until proven otherwise. And again, Dianna proved me correct, as she usually does as Verbal Graffiti's #1 fan. I don't criticize her for doing that. How can you blame her? All right, Dianna Russini, she's married to a normal guy, an ordinary guy, like the B-Man, right? If I was married to Dianna Russini and she was going to see the coach of the New England Patriots or Saquon Barkley at his house or any of these, these ex-athletes, she's going to fuck. She's going to fuck and she's going to get that insider information. That's how you get the title. I don't criticize her at all. I go full 180. I give Dianna a tip of my penis. And again, I will give a tip of my penis to Dianna Russini if she wants insider information of what's going here behind the camera at Verbal Graffiti. It should be known that I got rid of a few interns that I did not pay because let's not get into that. I don't want to incriminate myself on YouTube and lose my non-monetization. Which it's hard to lose non-monetization, but I don't want to try. So let's just keep it on Dianna and all the babe female reporters and insiders. Look, we all know this happens. My anger is not towards Dianna. My anger is towards all the other reporters who go on X and social media and allude to the information they have without naming names. Right? I open up X because I don't care about sports anymore. I really don't. Like I do, I enjoy watching sports, but the older I get, the more thankful I am or grateful that I did not try to get in the sports business. Now, obviously not as an athlete, but as a reporter or as an executive, because there's no bigger loser than a guy in his 40s or his 50s reporting on professional sports. All those athletes are half your age. They all have higher hypergamy than you do. And look at that, using the word hypergamy. Maybe that might be twice already. So, like, you're kind of a loser if you're reporting on guys. If you're going into the locker room, right? Muscular guys, all, making millions of dollars, and you're pulling up your iPhone going, hey, please give me some information about your thoughts on that at bat or that third down play where you got 15 yards. What are your thoughts? Like, come on, dude. Everyone in the orbit wants to fuck the athlete and not you. You're not even in the picture, and the athlete's just like, he's just trying to give you no answer, like 3-word answers, so he could get to the restaurant or to the after party or club or whatever hotel room where he's got some sniz waiting for him at. So the middle-aged reporter, that's the lamest gig going right now in America, and I'm so thankful I'm not one of those. And that's coming from a guy who makes no money for this project, Verbal Graffiti. Better to be here than there. But I'm not angry at Dianna. I'm really not, and nor should you be, regardless of your sex, right? Like I just said, sorry, my mind's all over the place. I just got, today's my birthday, by the way. My mother gave me $50 for my birthday. What am I going to do with this $50? Well, I'm going to take an Uber to Mink's Gentlemen's Club in downtown Hartford, and I'm going to slip this in the G-string of one of those Latina babes there that hardly speak broken English, because my mom wants grandchildren. And that's what I'm going to give her, some grandchildren, with the $50 she gave me in the back room of Mink's Gentlemen's Club, Hartford, Connecticut. Meet me there tonight. Probably not, because this is coming out after I go there. So I'm happy. I'm thinking about a nice Latina booty in my vicinity, in my, you know. All right, but back to Dianna. But more specifically, there are these reporters, these babes, these guys who are insiders. They work in sports, and then they go on X. Maybe you call it Twitter. I like to call it X. I think it's a little funny, but they'll go on. Oh, if you knew what I do, right? I mean, I'm not selling my sniz for insider information that's going to happen at the trade deadline and or draft. I'm clean. But if I could tell you all the people I know in the industry that are selling information or that are giving their sniz for insider information, you'd be blown away. The lady, the guy who goes on X and tells me that, tells all us Johns, all us regular ho-hum fans that they know people, and if you knew who the people they knew who were, selling, giving out sexual favors for information for, name names. You're the one I'm criticizing, because that's irritating to me. It's like, well, you're telling us you know information, but you won't tell us what babes are selling their sniz for information? Well, they just don't tell us at all. Stop tickling our ball sack, all right? Stop fondling our beautiful balls as sports fans. Stop telling us the things Don't tell us you know things without giving us the hard facts. If you know somebody who's selling her sniz for insider information, or sorry, not selling, but trading her sniz for insider information in whatever sports league, and you tell us that, you better name names. Because if you don't, the B-Man's going to respond to your tweet with there's a little reply, name names. And if you're not willing to name names, keep your mouth shut. Don't type anything. Just stay out of it. Stop trying to get some of that glow from Dianna Russini's sniz, that beautiful little meatball, that chicken parm sandwich. And I'm sorry. I go on the internet. A lot of people be saying Dianna Russini. That's who the Patriots coach of all the reporters, insiders. That's the one he's gonna fuck and give insider information to. And Dianna, she ain't pretty. She ain't all that. She's 40. She's the mother of two. There are better babes out there. Well, maybe there are. But I gotta admit, I think Diana's hot. The B-Man does. I mean, I think that's just a product of who I am and where I reside and grew up in. I grew up in Connecticut. So I think a lot of the country is repulsed by the Jersey Shore archetype lady, not me. All right, a Long Island, a Jersey, towns in New Haven County, so like East Haven, West Haven, Guilford, like the Long Island Italian Jew. You can't really tell them apart. They both have big noses, the accent, a little bit of attitude. It doesn't really matter whether they're Jewish or they're Italian. You just know both their parents' houses smell the same, right? The Jersey, East Haven, Connecticut, Italian or Jew, you go to their parents' house, you smell fake plants. Like fake flowers, fake plants, maybe a little bit of marinara sauce. Probably not. Let's be honest. In 2026, most Italian mothers, even in America, don't cook anymore. My mom does, but yours probably doesn't. But you go in, and chances are, whether she's a Jew or an Italian, there's some furniture with floral prints on the furniture. If you know, you know. And I know because I'm from this part of the country. I've always been attracted to the Italian and the Jew archetype that is New Jersey, Connecticut, Jersey Shore. Like, that's my type. That's what I hawk my dick loogie to. So Dianna Russini fits my type. Like, that's the type of babe I would like to cheat on me. Or I would like to be with her. Like, that's the type of great babe I'd like to be with. And inevitably, she'd cheat on me with somebody of higher status, sexual market value. But I'd be okay with that because, I think she's hot. A lot of the internet thinks Dianna Russini is just a big old ugly meatball. I don't. I disagree. I approve of her looks. I approve of her marriage. And I approve of her tactics to get information. What I'm angry at is all those haters online. All right, all those babe reporters, those local reporters in Cleveland, all right, and San Jose, San Antonio. They're going on the internet complaining about Dianna Russini selling her sniz or giving away her sniz for insider information. And they'll go on, well, I'm clean. I'm not doing anything with my body. I'm not trading my body for information. Well, maybe you should. Maybe if you learned how to suck a fat one, you wouldn't be stuck reporting in Cleveland. You'd be at NBC or ESPN or The Athletic. You'd be the lead reporter on all the major news stations, all the major websites. But you're not because you believe in this stupid thing called ethics and morality. Get rid of your ethics, get rid of your morality, suck a fat one, and climb the sports corporate ladder. That's how you get on TV. That's how you become a sideline reporter. Sell that sexy body of yours for information. like Dianna Russini. And again, we're big fans of Dianna, as she's a big fan of ours. Now, I think maybe the elephant in the room that you don't even know is in the room, but is in the room, are the male, the guy insiders. I don't, Pete Schrager Sham, or that guy Sham with the NBA. I'm forgetting all their names. But all the guy insiders, the guy reporters who break stories, they suck in the fat one for information too. But nobody's touching that. We touch it here at Verbal Graffiti. Not literally. We don't want to touch your penis. But Dianna Russini fucking NFL coaches to get insider information. That's ho-hum. That's everyday America. That's not. I'm talking about it for 15 minutes, but that is what it is. Right? We all know that happens, and she probably gets some pleasure from it. There's a kink. It helps her career, but she enjoys the act of fucking NFL athletes and coaches to get that information. It's win-win. You get the hot NFL players, and you get information, and it helps your career. Everybody's winning. But the guy reporter who's sucking dick to get information, because there are a lot of gays, right? In all these sports leagues, there are a lot of gays, and there are gays with information. And if you're a male reporter or an insider and you want the top spot at ESPN or NBC or any of these major networks, and the gay guy who's in the sports organization or the athlete, he has the information, but then he comes to you, well, for me to give you this information, you got to suck my fat one. And the straight heterosexual reporter or insider that's sucking dick to get the insider information, that is a reporter. That is the insider that I'm impressed with. That's the reporter that gets a tip on my penis, right? That's a guy who's not enjoying giving his mouth or his butthole to get that insider information, but he's doing it because he cares about his craft, right? That's win-lose. I gotta suck this dick. Don't love it. Don't love it. Don't enjoy it at all. But I want that insider information, so I'm willing to do so. So honestly, I know they can't do it, but if you're a heterosexual NFL insider and you're having to suck dick to get insider information, when your contract comes up, you should mention that in the negotiations, or at least your agent should. Hey, my client, he ain't gay, but he's doing gay stuff to get information for NBC or ESPN. So we want, my client deserves a pay bump. At least that's what I would bring to the negotiating table if that was me. And we're pro sucking dick to get insider information. We're all about insider information. If you have insider trades, give them to me. I want to make a buck on the stock market. I want to know. Give me that insider information. I'm not going to suck any dick. I'm not going to trade sexual favors for insider information with anyone else but Dianna Russini, because she is my meatball. But everyone else, I'm clean, unless it's Dianna. But I encourage this type of behavior, these tactics, and my only gripes is that the people who are not engaging in these illicit tactics to get the information, don't tell me you know about this without naming names. You're the one who my ire goes towards. And then I also, a big ups, shout out, props to the heterosexual male insider who's doing gay deeds to get that insider information. I see you. We here at Verbal Graffiti, we see you. All right, moving forward. Once again, the B-Man is vindicated. all the female insiders are selling their sniz, trading their sniz for insider information. And we're all for it here at Verbal Graffiti. All right, now here's a picture from, I found this one on Reddit. It comes from the McDonald's subreddit. We've all eaten there. Hubby and I are enjoying Mickey D's for dinner. The husband order is the double quarter pounder. I got 2 hot and spicies and nuggets, which is a 20 piece, which is a number you should go to. Much like Dianna Russini and her husband and their devotion together, this photo of McDonald's, this is love. This is love. Let me reiterate this so you feel it through the screen, through the monitor. This is love. That right there, that is love. All right, that's all I can say. That's a marriage that will last till death do us part. And that death is probably coming earlier than later because you're eating double quarter pounders and a 20-piece nugget. But that's love. There's so much talk on the internet about the dating crisis in 2026. Boys don't like girls. Girls don't like boys. It's feminist versus red pill. Nobody's getting together. Everyone's getting AI girlfriends and boyfriends and vibrators and sex toys and this and that. A couple that eats McDonald's together is a couple that stays together. Right? That's a true sign of devotion. Right. When your husband, and let's just play husband, wife, just to tidy it up for this one. But when your husband goes to McDonald's and he knows your order without having to ask you, that's love. That is the definition of love. When he comes home, right, he's working all day or he's out with the kids and he comes home. Right, on the way home, stops by McDonald's, gets himself a double quarter pounder, but he knows you like 2 spicy chicken sandwiches and a 20-piece nugget, and he knows that's your order, and he doesn't even ask you. You have to call, hey, what do you want for McDonald's? No, he knows. A 20-piece nugget, 2 spicy chicken sandwiches, we'll split the large fry, and he brings it home without asking you, and he goes, hey, here's dinner. Got McDonald's. And you know that he knows what your order is, so there's no, oh, what did you get me? He's like, oh, dude, spicy chicken, the large fry. You know this family too. You know they eat out at McDonald's quite often because they're putting the French fries in the top half of the double quarter pound box that the sandwich comes in. That's a veteran move. That's a couple. That's a married couple that eats out several times a week. They're a McDonald's weekly family and a marriage, and that's why they've lasted as long as they have. Because that's love right there. That is the American love story. Eating McDonald's together at the dining room table in silence as the two of you scroll through your cell phones. Your smartphones. You scroll through your phone, you eat your McDonald's, you're eating your McDonald's together as a union, but you're not communicating with each other. That's the American love story. That's what these two have. That's what the rest of us who are losers, incels, femcells, the unlovables, the unfuckables, the invisible, that's what we're striving for. Somebody to eat McDonald's with. Somebody who knows our McDonald's order without having to ask because they just know us that well. And don't be mistaken, right? As an incel, I'm a self-described incel. When it comes to the nuggets, I never go with a 4-piece, never even consider the 6-piece. Usually the 10-piece is the sweet spot if you're an incel, you're a loner. But if you're married or you have a lover, you got to go with the 20-piece because you know your lover is. They're going to be dipping. They're going to be putting their hand in your nuggets. And if you get the 10-piece, you're going to get aggravated because there's only 10 of them. But with the 20-piece, that's enough nugget to give. So when your lover reaches over and steals some of your nuggets, you don't get aggravated. That's why if you're in a relationship, you got to go with the 20-piece. But as an incel, I go with the 10-piece. Obviously, they're married. They're in love. You got to go with the 20-piece. But that is... that's grounds for... Now that I think about it, that kind of is grounds for divorce. If you're in a relationship and your partner comes home with McDonald's, but no McDonald's for you, I'd blow a gasket. Like that's grounds for domestic violence. If you come home with a double quarter pounder, French fry, you got the McDonald's, you got a milkshake, or maybe you got Coca-Cola, and you're going to eat it in the living room, and you didn't bring me home any, that's grounds for domestic violence regardless of your sex. Punches, throw a steak knife, throw the remote, take their smartphone, throw it through the window. Any type of violence should be allowed in the court of law if your partner doesn't bring home McDonald's for you. That's grounds for divorce right there. Like, are you fucking serious? You came home with McDonald's. You didn't even ask me. You didn't even ask me if I was hungry. You didn't, no text when you're in the drive-through line. Like, no, hey, I'm waiting. I'm at McDonald's. What do you want? You went through the McDonald's drive-through and you didn't think about me, the B man. No, it's over. Take your shit and get the fuck out. This relationship is over. Again, this is all hypothetical, but if I was in a relationship, that's how I would behave. And you should behave that way too. If your lover comes home without McDonald's for you, or heaven forbid, some guys are sneaky and babes are sneaky too. Like if your lover comes home, but you could smell it on their breath, it's always, oh, you got McDonald's. I can smell it on your breath. It's similar to alcohol. You ate it in the parking lot or you scarfed it up on the way home. You tried to be sneaky. You got to McDonald's, but you didn't want to spend $12 on me. So you ate it alone quickly on the way home, and you didn't think I'd smell the McDonald's French fries on your hot, stinky breath? No. Go pack up all your belongings. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. I think real love is actually when your partner, your lover, knows your order and doesn't eat all your French fries on the way home. Because that's... You need to have willpower, not right the passenger seat, to kind of eat those French fries on the way home. That's why I'm amazed with Uber drivers. Typically, that's why I don't get Uber Eats. Because I don't have the willpower to have McDonald's French fries in my passenger seat and not eat any of them. So I can't expect an Uber Eats driver not to eat the French fries I bought that's in his or her passenger seat. That's why I don't order Uber Eats. It has nothing to do with the price. It's just I know humans, and I know we all have weak willpower when it becomes to McDonald's. But yeah, if your lover gets your order and doesn't eat all the fries by the time he or she gets home, that's somebody you want to get buried next to, right? Go to whatever funeral place, whatever graveyard, and buy the 2 lots of land right next to each other. That's a real one. That's a one you want to be buried next to and live eternity with, when wherever eternity is. That's how serious I feel. I mean, McDonald's orders, it says a lot. It says a lot about you and your devotion to your lover. I don't think any of you can disagree with that. Go suck a fat one.